Zero's
Now
YouTube
we're
channel
live.
on YouTube, and then we're going to have some fun wrecking some shit, man.
Yep, we were in the
We're
process
gonna
of
wreck your shit with knowledge that you will not
Grandmaster
even believe.
Reverend, and we are going to just overload your brain with knowledge. This is the holy grail of theories, and we're going to start wherever Grandmaster will lead us the road.
I am the Jedi Master of YouTube, and my good buddy here is the Sith Lord of this channel.
I am an
Now,
overlord of
the
the
Overlord of this
clan,
channel.
not the
All right,
clan as in KKK, the clan,
the
T
clan,
H E E.
CLAN.
Exactly, this is my clan.
And later today, I will be doing a podcast on this, on the theory here. And ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to be a guest on Chris Zero's channel. It is an honor, man. Thank you for having me.
Yep. I normally make less than 3 minute videos, so it's nice to have a guest here because I get pissed off very soon, very quickly about a single subject.
Yes, and the Holy Grail theory is, I mean, the title has to fit the video. It has to fit the video itself on the content. Now, um, now, Kirsch, I got I got to tell you, man, I've been learning a lot about this for the past few months, and I tell you what, it is worth to learn, worth to know, and worth to understand. And I will give you the floor, man.
All right, so basically we're gonna start off since he didn't want to lead us down the road. I'm just basically gonna start this off with the Mandela effect is real. My body is proof of the Mandela effect being real. Because we're going to go off of basic standpoints, little bitty things that change on items. Well, let's just say before I turned 20, I had an actual on my shoulder collarbone area. There was like a freckle, like freckles are. Yeah, there was a mole.
What? There's some that can move though. I mean, there's some that over
Mandela
time,
effect
as you
as it
age,
rolls.
yeah,
I understand
as you
the
age,
Mandela effect as it rolls. I am a Mandela effect. My body is a Mandela effect.
yeah. Now, moles or freckles, they tend to kind of creep out a little bit when you age a little bit, pretty much. I mean,
But
uh,
we're talking millimeters of difference, and they grow a little bigger in the same spot. We're not
yeah,
talking physically was here, now is here.
that part.
We're
No, we're
not
not.
talking.
We're talking about how um it grows over time, just a little speck at a time, and
We're not talking full moving up, picking up, going to the other city, other suburb across the way, and picking up location. Now we reside here. No, that that's not what a mole does.
no, no, I don't. But the theory of the Mandela effect was that I was mentioning a video about there was 7 parts to his video about a an old Ford, a classic Ford that's been sitting there for years. And if you look at the front of the car and back of the car,
It has two different
the
logo emblems.
two different logo emblems of the Ford name. One has a, like when you do the whole
Little
F, and
curly
then
hue, and one doesn't have the little curly hue.
yeah,
And
and
another thing of the Mandela effect, and me and Grandmaster were talking about this, which actually brought up the reason why, hey, we're going to make this a live broadcast. Okay,
yeah,
Darth Vader himself told you that he said, Luke, I am your father. Are you literally going to question Darth Vader himself?
no, you wouldn't,
You would not
because
question the actor himself saying that this was the line that I said on camera, and I do not understand why the movie is this way.
Well, the that can be a good question on why was it changed to "I am your father." I mean, it could have
Instead
been
of
like,
no, I am your father. It became no, I am your father. Another example, Houston, we have a problem was changed to Houston, we've had a problem.
there's a lot of changes in films that cause a Mandela effect and shit. You know, I mean, like I want to go back to the Vader thing here, where it's supposed to say, "Luke, I am your father," to
Yeah.
"No, I am your father," and that there it really blew people's minds at the theaters and shit. You know, like no way, no
Yeah.
way,
Yeah,
and
and everybody was so blown up about the bad guy technically being the good guy's daddy that they didn't realize the Mandela effect in place right there at that exact fraction of a millisecond.
yeah,
That's the difference between Star Wars, the movie, the original, and Star Wars Episode 4. And like we
yeah,
was talking about, C-3PO's silver leg. How many Star Wars diehard fans know that C-3PO had a silver leg?
I knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here saying. In the original Star Wars movie, there was so many different changes compared to Star Wars and Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
And
That's
in
two
seven, he
different
has
movies.
the red arm. Here, yeah, he has the red arm.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we got that red arm from the other red 3PO
I
that
wonder.
was in that was in the episode 5, because I got
That's
the
true.
yeah
You're
I
right,
got
dude. I
the
remember that.
where's it? I got the red C3PO that was in that was in episode 5,
Right on.
and if you look at the backstory of that droid, he was owned by a smuggler that was
Yeah.
sent on Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a droid, and the
Yeah,
droid was
and
left
I'm almost
behind.
positive Leia technically let C-3PO have an arm between 6 and 7 because he lost an arm at some point in time, just like he lost that leg at some point in time.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he did. I mean, when? Don't know. How? We don't know.
It just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. I mean, like, I mean, just seeing the movie, I was like, why does this guy have a red arm and not his gold one? Because did he lose it somewhere, or was it?
Yeah. Like it's briefly mentioned very shortly that he had a complication and he got an arm. And that's how briefly it's mentioned. Oh, something happened and now I have this.
Well. If you look at episode 8, he has a gold arm again.
Yeah. That makes no sense. That messes with people's heads. You're not supposed to do stuff like that. That's like whenever you're sitting here watching a movie or watching a TV or something, and perfect example, this door is open. Then suddenly the door is closed. Suddenly the door is open. Or this magazine was here on the table. Now it's over here on the table.
Yeah.
This cup was in this location. Now it's technically over here, out of frame shot whenever it was, right here in frame.
Or the glass was full and now it's half full.
Yeah, crazy shit like that. Like, do they do that intentionally so that people will realize this stuff? Or do they do that unintentionally, unknowingly, whatever? Is another theory behind that.
That would be, I mean, there are many theories on the Mandela effect that would really blow a person's mind. Like, again, with the car, uh, the force symbol is fully has the full connecting there, but in the back it don't.
Yeah.
There's a there's a
Let let's start moving up the ladder here, Grandmaster. Um,
okay.
let's go deeper into the theory of theories here, Mal. Meow. I like that. That's funny. Um, okay, so there's this new theory coming out. Like I sent out the information to the clan earlier today, my clan earlier today. Um, there's this new simulation theory that they're coming up with, that scientists have actually studied the universe down so much that they found a binary code.
That would be in the ones and zeros type thing, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what they found. They found literal computer code at the base of the universe. And they're trying to basically spin it off as is that we were thrusted into the simulated reality, and this is how the Mandela effect actually occurred, because the simulated reality is not exactly like reality was.
Now, I want to get here. If you don't mind, that there's a lot of scientists and astrologers that have came to this theory or came close to this theory over the years. And when they got to this point, they mysteriously died. No, I mean, if you're a scientist,
Stephen Hawking's our most latest victim.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking was he was ahead of his time, and like Einstein and like Tesla, this guy was behind his years. He was like, holy crap, he knew his shit. He basically just literally just like shit, and it was a real like, damn, this guy knew his things. But there's a lot of
there's more there. I've read a few newspaper clippings, and there was actually a newspaper clipping I found of the Hawking machine validifying what I was saying, what was going on that night that we all got together and like we was doing something that I won't mention because we'll make a lot of 3D reality people run scared for their lives.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, there was a newspaper article of Hawking's machine that I had found that I don't know where it's at now because I don't bookmark anything. I skim it and then I X out of the tab. It's gone.
Well, it seems that when somebody who's in the range of Einstein, Tesla, and Hawking, when they die, they go for their shit. All their notes, their books,
yes.
everything.
Yeah.
Because they don't want this out there. They don't want it out there. Right after Tesla died, Tesla died. The feds went in to the place where he was staying, and they took everything of his.
They took the Tesla coil. They took the Tesla coil and turned it into a carnival trick.
Yeah.
Whenever the Tesla coil should be where our fucking nuclear power plants are.
And they're using it as well as a weapon. Now, if you go to the episode of The Big Bang Theory, the three characters were creating this device, and a person from
the Air Force. Talking about. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. The Air Force, the military suddenly came in and said, "We're confiscating everything."
Yeah,
because they had touched on something.
Yeah, and one of them, like a character says that he didn't want it to be a weapon. So the Air Force guy says, how he uses it is none of your business.
Yeah, I'm not like in regard authorized to answer your question.
Well, the thing is, the creator has a right to be concerned because it's his creation. It's his shit.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Wolowitz and his way that he figured out how to get rid of shit in the space station. The military came in and confiscated the idea and he thought it was going to be weaponized, when in actuality, about 20 years from now, it can be weaponized. But in their form of the sense, I actually watched it was like 5 or 6 episodes that you had to catch.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that they had went to Antarctica, then Wolowitz discovered this. Wolowitz went to space. Sheldon becomes a conductor of a train, which is basically the episode where the military guy comes in and says, I want this. And they're like, that's an unfinished theory, sir. He's like, I want this. So they have to go get Sheldon, who suddenly became a train conductor, to fix the problem.
I think it's kind of fucked up that the military or our government comes in and decides, well, we're going to compensate this, and you're sworn to secrecy. Fuck you, you government douchebag. Hey, if I'm worried about it, I'm gonna worry about it, and I will not be sworn to secrecy as you tell me. You government stooge.
Yeah, you can't sit here and tell me that I'm free whenever you're sitting here telling me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
Like, I was having a discussion with one of my people. It was like, it doesn't matter if I went in my backyard and took a fucking piss or a shit. If a police officer saw me, I go to jail. But in a different regard, if I was in my house, and my house just so happened to have big enough windows, and you seen me taking a shit or taking a piss on my fucking toilet, you're considered a perv. It's opposite reaction here. It's what the fuck's going on here?
It's opposite reaction from a action.
From the exact same action, yeah. An opposite reaction from the exact same action.
I mean, you gotta think, brother. I mean, it's like, okay, now, I've always been intrigued on theories and logics and how things work. Okay, my son is going to college to major in biology.
Your son's
and
smart.
He wants to get a degree in microbiology to see how things work. And he was working with his grandfather on his mom's side of the family, and he was learning how things are mixed, things on how things are just he just inquisitive on how things work. I mean, he's been that way since he was a kid. You know,
has it clicked to him? Has it clicked to him that what he's studying is 80% empty space?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Or he's more focused on the 20% of the used space instead of the actual empty space between the nucleus and the electrons. Ask him about that. What is between the nucleus and the electrons? And he's going to sit there and say, nothing, Dad.
Well,
and
he might know.
That's whenever you get him. That's whenever you grab him and be like, consciousness creates reality. That's the exact moment you grab him and say, consciousness creates reality. Everything you see is only 20% there. Your mind fills it to make it a solid object.
Yeah.
Consciousness fills that 80%. Our world is empty, is 80% empty space. We create our world. Like I said in one of my posts, you don't have a limit. Don't just stop at being an immortal. You are also a creator.
Yeah.
You create your world. What you do, what you say, what you think. This has been proven to me. I was walking down the street one day with one of my friends. She was talking about a fucking raccoon. You know what happened about 20 seconds later after we turned the corner? A fucking raccoon was in the middle of the damn street. You create your fucking reality, brother.
Yeah, you do.
Straight up. You create your reality. If you think it hard enough, you believe it hard enough that you will see a motherfucking raccoon. Pow! There will be a fucking raccoon.
Oh, fuck yeah, brother. I mean, shit. That's like, my son and I, he was about, what was it, 9, 10 years old. We were walking to the store one day, and I look up, I see this I mean, this thing was it looked massive. I thought that's the biggest fucking scroll I ever seen, in theory. But after we walked a little bit, it was two squirrels fucking. And my son, I go, son, look up there. Looks up, goes, what's that? I said, son, that's two squirrels fucking, and we don't
Your
want to
dad
look.
thought it was the giant squirrel.
Yeah, it was like this. It looks like from a distance a giant fucking squirrel. And I'm like, what? What the fuck created this son of a bitch? And my son and I walked up and looked up. It's two squirrels fucking. I'm like, what the hell? I told my son, I go, look, two squirrels gone wild. And he buzzed out fucking laughing, dude.
Okay, now we're going to jump on Jim Carrey for a second because Jim Carrey has been talking some legitimate shit, but nobody understands it. Because Jim Carrey has reached a level where he has aligned with the light. I'm not saying he's aligned with the sun. He is aligned with the light and has moved
he did a movie
at the speed of light.
He did a movie.
He's got it. He's got it. We don't exist. We are part of this grand mind.
Jim Carrey did a movie based on the number 18 or 38 or whatever the number was.
The number 23.
23. And the number evolved around something. I mean, it was like that movie, The Beautiful Mind, where the character played by Russell Crowe, he was like doing a investigation on something, and he was trying he was trying to connect the dots on some things. Like the government was doing something, and then he was trying to connect the dots or whatever. And it was a good movie, a good movie. And at the
I'd like to raise my hand real quick and go back to the Mandela effect and be like, has anybody else noticed that ever since we've had the Large Hadron Collider, the Mandela effect has been in like full swing, and there's a lot more people saying, "Hey, that's not right."
Yeah,
I think that might be the battery source or the energy source for this simulation, Grandmaster. Because in a sense, if we take the consideration that we are all created by one giant collective mind, as Jim Carrey is trying to portray that none of us exist, we are all part of a fragment of a mind. We're just personas. That's what he's saying. We are avatars in this simulation we are in. We are just avatars.
I remember watching T3 Rise of the Machines, and where the T-1000 and that other Terminator, they're belling out, and that one Terminator started to liquefy. Now, is that thing a hydrogen collider?
The bad Terminator that came back in T3 is an advanced AI that can control other AI from a range distance.
Yeah, I know that, but the part where it gets stuck to that big old pipe thing, is it a hydrogen collider?
Oh, you're talking about that may be the battery for the Large Hadron Collider. That may be a perfect example for the battery. I know exactly what you're talking about now. You're talking about the magnet that John Connor fires up and the SMG smacks to it.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. That's the battery source for a Large Hadron Collider. They need something New York City that big.
Okay. How many are in this world that exists today? I know there's one in the UK somewhere. In the UK,
I can state 12, but I cannot confirm 12.
All I know is that from what I learned is that there's only two, one in the U.S. and one in the
That's
U.K.
that's why I said I cannot confirm 12, but I
Yeah,
can state
I know,
12.
I know.
I can state 12. Like I can confirm the one in France. I can confirm the one in New York City. I can confirm the one in London. I can confirm the one somewhere in the Midwest. There's one in the Midwest somewhere of the United States. And then there's one in the middle of Asia that I can confirm.
Okay, Asia,
Like,
United
like,
States, and
like,
UK. So far,
yeah.
there's
United
three.
States has like 2 or 3 that I can like definitely confirm
Okay,
exist. There's one in the Midwest and there's one in New York. There's one in France, there's one in London, and there's one somewhere in Asia that I can confirm.
okay.
And the way you look for it, it's quite simple. You look for the giant mechanical circle.
Okay. It's all based underground though.
Yeah, it's a giant. You literally see a circle. Like if you looked at it high enough without going too high, there's literally a circle in the ground that you have to make because of the magnet that you are doing as a battery source. That's what you're talking about from T3, that giant
Yeah.
fucking tube tunnel. That's a giant
I'm
fucking.
wondering I'm wondering what would happen if you turn all of them on at the same time on planet Earth.
That is a theory. Like I said, I can confirm 12. The reason why I can confirm 12 is because of the effect that this has. It has a 1 in 10%. It has a 1 in 10 chance to create a black hole. It has a 1 in 9 chance to just blink us. It has a 1 in 8 chance to implode us. So they only fire up 2 or 3, maybe 5 max at once.
So if you turn on all 12, it would put us in a black hole then, right?
Let's just put it this way. If they fired up all 12 at the exact same time and everybody smacked protons at the exact same millisecond, we never existed.
That means we'll be back at square one.
No, there never was a square one. We're at negative square 10. Square negative 10 if they hit all 12 at the exact same time. And there's not a barrier to protect us from not existing ever. Because I'm literally stating it will erase the last 30,000 years.
Okay, my question is if we went underground and at a point where all of them are going at the same time and everything no longer exists, but it goes to square 10. And then we come out of the ground ourselves because we're underground.
All right, I'll explain this so that you can understand this, okay? All right. We all know that there's a moon that we can inhabit life on. If we was on Titan, that moon that we can inhabit life on, and the Earth hit all 12 of the Large Hadron Colliders at the same time,
okay,
this is what we would witness. We would witness a flash brighter than the sun for exactly 3 seconds.
can anyone survive this if they went underground themselves?
Not if you're on the planet. That's why I said you have to be on. You have to be on Titan in order to see the flash and survive.
If we were underground, say like in a shelter, like a bunk or whatever it is, or like a basement or whatever.
Grandmaster,
yeah.
you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. You're thinking 2-dimensionally. What you're on, what you're going into, will not exist in 12 seconds.
so everything will be totally evaporated then if all the
Evaporated is a nice word of understanding. Like I said, you have to be on Titan, that one moon that can sustain human life, and you will see a flash brighter than the sun for about 3 seconds if all 12 hit at the exact same millisecond.
huh.
So the Earth would not exist. Like anybody on the Earth would have never existed. Like third rock from the sun never fucking happened type shit.
Wow. I mean,
It's not that we
everything
would
we
implode or explode or create a black hole. It's that we would literally blink ourselves out. That's the difference. We would blink ourselves out. And then there's a theory behind that. What about these narcolepsy people who don't understand that they've fallen asleep and they're projected to wake up anyway? In their mind, they're awake anyway. So they're going to wake up to reality that doesn't exist. So there's like a barrier on this shit somehow that they can smack these together and there's a fail safe. Like, okay, we have this many tries before shit goes stupid. And then you got to take into account the rare motherfucking type 2 narcoleptics like my own self. I have micro sleeps. Whenever I blink, the reason why I don't physically sleep for like 4, 6, 8, 12 hours at a time is because whenever I blink, I have a micro sleep, and that's like 3 fucking hours of sleep for me.
Shit. I was watching an episode of Law and Order SVU. It's an old episode, and it involved this woman. She was a kind of a schizophrenic kind of person, and very interesting because she started to mention particles and other shit, and she was like, you know, like I mean, mentioning a lot of stuff like we're talking about now, and like the particle theories of particle physics and everything else like that, um, but she was a schizophrenic individual that was who covered the windows with foil. The room was covered in foil.
We're going to break down this word real quick, Grandmaster, because I'm the reason I am within the first 10 people that was named schizoaffective. We're going to break this down real quick. We're going to break down this word. We're going to explain schizoaffective and schizophrenic real quick.
That's what I want to do that's what I want to do is get that to the word and meaning because
we're going to break this down for the viewers real quick because I'm also a personal example of this. All right, whenever we say schizophrenic, schizoaffective, the schizo part of it basically means we don't understand or view reality the way that the reality wants to superimpose it onto us.
Okay.
Now, the frantic and affective part comes in 2 different fashions. The frantic part basically means that they don't accept it, but they know that it's different, and they're Twilight Zone mind.
Okay.
And affective basically means that it doesn't affect them. They're like, fuck you. This ain't right. This is how the fuck it is. Fuck you. You better listen. Fuck you. And that's how I am. And you know that's how I am.
Of course. I mean, shit. I mean, I've always wanted to know the meaning of half the word of schizo. And then
yes, schizo basically means you do not accept reality as reality wants to superimpose it onto you. You accept your version of reality. And the frantic and affective part, the frantic part means that you're a Twilight Zone individual. It scares the fuck out of you. You want to crawl into the fetal position. The affective is quite effective, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, these terms are very interesting because nobody understands the term or meaning of it. And they're afraid of what they don't. They are afraid of what they don't understand. They are absolutely afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah, and the whole thing is let's get into like we've been talking off camera between 1 and 0, one being the most fucking actual shit, and 10 is like you're barely scratching the surface, you're getting there. We've been teetering between 8 and 5. Let's jump that 4 to 3, 4 to 2 area, Grandmaster.
All right.
Let's explain to people that we're in a 3-dimensional world. We are
Okay.
4th dimensional beings, but we only see in 2 dimensions.
Okay. Three-dimensional people in a fourth-dimensional level, but you see 2D.
Okay, how is this? Because without
That's
that camera, you cannot see that. You cannot see that window behind you. Without that camera, you cannot visually see that window behind you. No. Without this camera sitting in front of me, I cannot see these steps behind me.
No.
If I could see these steps behind me, I would have 3D vision.
Big time.
So we're 4th dimensional creatures because our bodies are more.
Okay.
Our bodies are
fourth dimensional in a 3D world, seeing 2D. Am I correct here? I mean, did I do it right?
Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to explain why we're 4th dimensional meat suits creatures. Because do you not realize that our bodies are more advanced than any other organism on this planet?
Yes, it is. I mean, hugely, very huge. I mean, really.
And the reason why is because, in a sense, whenever we went to the point of volution, I did not put a D or an E on the front of that. I went to volution. Okay. Whenever we got to the point of volution in the most recent times, we have devolved twice.
Okay.
Because of physical, tangible objects and the human mind molding around a 3-dimensional world instead of the human mind molding around a 4th-dimensional world like it was originally intended to do. Because if the human mind is molded around a 4th-dimensional world, it has the easier compatibility to step onto the 5th-dimensional plane. And from the 5th-dimensional plane, you could automatically go from 5 to 8 to 12 to 144 to 144 exponent 144. That's like the secret shortcut. Because as soon as you get into 4 and realize that nothing is linear, nothing is a straight line anymore, Grandmaster.
Wow.
Past is present, present is past, future is present, future is past. That's what 4th dimension means.
That's huge, man. It's heavy.
That's how come we are stuck here, because we are physically tied to these 3D objects. We are physically tied to this technology. Our mind does not want to ungrasp the comfort level.
No, because of it, our mind is like on a technological pillow. Our minds are resting on this technological pillow of technology.
And like I said, we're going to go to 5 to 2. Yes.
Did I right?
Yes, that's good. That's awesome.
Okay.
Our mind is literally relaxed, become lazy on this technological pillow. On this third dimensional pillow, on this physical plane. But here's the thing.
That is weird. That is weird on how I put it. But it makes sense though.
But it's a good explanation. Now, like I said, we jumped from 8 to 5, and we're going 5 to 2 now. Are you ready to hit tier 1?
Let's hit second gear, man. Let's pop the clutch, put in second gear, and let's roll.
Let's hit tier 1. Now, here's the thing. The only reason why any of this exists is because somebody has thought of it. you can't think of nothing because somebody has already thought what nothing should be. So you
No.
physically can't think of. And that was the theory my buddy came here and we sat down and talked about yesterday. You can't even explain these concepts because explaining a concept is explaining a concept to a human mind's
Yeah.
understanding. You
Yeah.
can't get it. You don't get it. It's a race you can't win. You cannot. We're fucked, and fucked is a concept. It's like it's a race we can't win.
Yeah.
That's the new
I was
theory that I
mentioning.
put
I
in
was mentioning.
since simulation theory has popped in, and I'll slow down right now.
Okay. I was mentioning in my podcast yesterday about some symbolisms in the game Assassin's Creed One, where at the end you see these red, the symbolism in red, like the all-seeing eye, the figure eight, and
I'm sorry, man. I had to do it. I saw the shit last night, and you said the all-seeing eye, so I had to do the Jim Carrey shit that I found last night. I'm sorry, man.
It's like when you finish the game itself and you're in this room at the Abstergo facility, and in this room there's like different symbols, like the LC eye, the figure eight, the Nazca line drawings on the wall, all these different.
You mean the infinity sign, the figure eight on its side, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the infinity symbol.
And and also I mentioned the Illuminati in video games and conspiracy. I mean, basically, it's a conspiracy theory in games. I mean, like like in movies where they only show you tidbits of the truth, not
In
all
a
of it.
video game, they're actually allowed to give you more than that 0.01%
Yeah,
at a time.
yeah.
Like their minimum level is like 5% truth.
And I mentioned games like Call of Duty Black Ops, Assassin's Creed franchise, and Grand Theft Auto 5 because if you look
That's
there's a
realistic.
mural on top of a mountain if you play the story mode or the online go to that top of the mountain where you do the right up to the top of the mountain. There's a mural, it's a map, and there's three squares, and it has to do with the UFOs and shit. You know, like a mountain can be the mountain is a kind of uh, a base for aliens and shit. Right? And I mean, most of the videos I've seen about it is based on alien shit. You know, like I mean, the alien ship on bottom of the ocean has crashed, dead bodies and shit in the ocean. And if you go to the beginning of the game, and if you stop, there's along the road there's like a river or canal where the water's frozen, and in the frozen water is the body of an alien. And
Yeah.
it's how
Like the
you know,
government missed the spot.
yeah.
Like that ever fucking happens. Like, can we ever be that lucky, Grandmaster, that the government missed the spot?
Oh fuck yeah! Hopefully, shit. I mean, there's a video of a body
Because
of an
I think
alien.
I just thought of an idea of how the Mandela effect came into place, and it might be a legitimate cause.
There was a video
I asked.
From Peru, and the military found a body of an alien because when you took me that link of the Peruvian was it the PAF or oh, no the FAP and Peruvian alien type thing. It kind of brought me back to the video that I've seen where the Peruvian military found the body of an alien, and they put it
Yeah,
on this thing, and they carried it off. They
yeah,
carried it off.
dude. There's spots and places where we as resistance fighter have legitimate proof before 92 that there is existence of other beings that have touched this planet besides humans.
Oh yeah, last night I even went online and tried to trying to find the information you gave me about '89, February 2nd. Was it March? Was
It was November 5th and February 8th.
November 5th and February 8th.
Yeah, something like that. And we were trying to find the exact date that the woman in Peru actually saved the planet from the Grays. And we're not lying, we're not bullshitting you, we're not blowing smoke up your ass. Like,
yeah,
the Grays were here and trying to kill us, and this woman saved us.
And I can't. I mean, I like it. It seems to be censored somewhere. I mean, I tried googling it. Nothing. Tried. I mean, try to find anything of it on it.
We're trying to find a newspaper clipping of the Peruvian woman, the woman from Peru, who basically, and this is the legitimate story, took the Earth's Merkaba, plugged it into the sun, which is the power source, and drove the Greys away by making them seem like they ingested the stuff that makes you puke and shit all over yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's how she got rid of the Greys. And between 89 and 92, there was fewer and fewer sightings. And since 92, there has not been a sighting of a Grey's aircraft.
But over the years, there has been a lot of sightings of aliens,
of other extraterrestrials, other extra dimensional, other extra planets.
97.
Like the reptilians are here, brother.
In 87, there was a huge sighting of a.
The reptilians are here, and there's this other. There's these light beings that can actually possess human bodies that don't need the inner workings of a human body. They just look like a meat suit on the outside, but they don't need anything. There's these light beings that are walking around.
Oh yeah.
And there's these reptilians who have meat suit skin on. And I hate to be a fucking person. Well, yeah, I'm a freedom fighter. I retract my last statement. Hi Rihanna, you're one of them, and I can point right at you because, yeah, some of these people, man, you can just tell by looking at their eyes.
Oh, about Rihanna, she looks good naked, man. I tell you what.
Hey, you're looking at an extraterrestrial being there, brother.
Yeah, with nice tits, man. Holy crap.
You're looking at a very, very reptilian being with human skin over top of the body.
Now, Lady Gaga. Holy crap, dude.
Now, Lady Gaga, I can't confirm nor deny Lady Gaga because I haven't actually visually inspected Lady Gaga.
But I'm just saying,
I've seen enough of Rihanna in interviews and on music videos to be like, yeah, I know you're not a human.
There's a picture of Lady Gaga. Her face looks like fucking alien, dude. Like fucking A, man.
It's not the face, Grandmaster. It's the eyes. The way that you can tell with the eyes is that.
Oh yeah, but how it was done, her cheekbones went like out.
An actual human's eyes are actually a single color and do not fade different colors in different shit. Like, I can't show you my eyes because I have black spots in my fucking colors of my eyes. I think they're called irises of your eyes. Not the pupils, the iris.
My eyes have starbursts in them.
I'm saying that there's blackness between the color.
Yeah.
That's one way that you can tell.
My eyes have inside the color. It looks like a star bursted.
What color is it? What color is within your iris? That is not your actual eye color.
My eyes are either a hazel or a dark green, but the thing is green itself, kind of a green itself.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Not black, not gray, but just green.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that, and like I just pointed literally at myself here too. If it's black, it's normally 99.9% of the time not a good entity. But like we know, With humans, it's all about the atmosphere you are brought into. That's how. Okay, consciousness is not spirit, but spirit is consciousness. It's kind of like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Spirit is the
Wow.
separation of consciousness. Consciousness is one whole entity. Spirit is the separated parts of it. I don't want to say individual parts of it because that makes it too prominent. Because it's not singular parts. It's separated
It's
parts.
separated. Could it be plural too, as well? Plural?
Consciousness is a single entity. This is how come you have the spirits of consciousness. You have the essences, the essence I, or however you say that, of consciousness.
The iris?
But pretty much, yeah, you have consciousness as a whole, as one entity, as a single entity, which is the universe, which is
Okay.
which is all dimensions, which is all existence. That is a single consciousness put together.
Okay.
Now, each sector has different spirits, different essences of consciousness.
Okay.
And consciousness itself kind of went through a split personality disorder where it split itself from collective and duality. And more or less, it created a universal war, which basically one planet would be inhabited, and through free will, which 90% of beings have, and you notice how I did not say 99.9999, I said 90%.
Okay.
Have free will. So inhabitants inhabit a planet.
I've had,
Whether or not.
I've had a question on this one too. Now, I play Mortal Kombat off and
Okay.
on, and I often wonder about question on can the game Mortal Kombat also have any information on what we're talking about too?
Yes, Mortal Kombat is a representation of extra dimensional beings and extra planetary, extra dimensional travel.
Okay. I just wanted
Because
to
because yes, there is
I
a
just wanted to
tournament
throw it
that
out
is
there
held
a little bit.
every set amount of years, but it is not to the dramatic scale of you will lose your existence.
Okay. I just wanted to throw it out there, kind of, because
You don't lose your home
I
dimension
wanted
if you
I wanted to throw it
participate
out
in this
there
tournament.
a while, but I haven't yet. But now I want to do it. So kind of wanted to just throw it out
Yeah,
there.
because this is the perfect time to like ask questions and get a legitimate answer of for them.
Okay.
Because yeah, more or less, yes, there is a tournament held every set amount of years that if you participate in it, you will not lose your home existence, but you lose a good bit of something else.
You lose part of yourself each time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Grandmaster. You lose part of yourself if you lose.
You lose a part of your soul in a way a little bit after competing in that tournament.
Yeah. In a sense, we're on a different set of morals. We're not on the 3D morals here.
No, we're not.
We don't go by 3D morals. What you think is legitimate and law on your three-dimensional plane has no fathom here. We're talking about places where you can walk upon it and get squashed like an ant, and nobody would give a flying fuck where you went.
Nobody would. That's right. Nobody would give you a fly. Nobody would give two shits about you if you took those steps and shit, man. I mean, fuck.
We're talking about going to black crystal ice planets and walking around to go kill these bat pterodactyl looking things just to get the skin, just to sell it, just to have some currency, just so you can also have some food and have something to keep yourself warm.
Did you see that picture of this was an old photo from Wild West or Civil War, but it's in that era, and they found this big old winged creature and shit.
No, I have not.
It's an old photo, and they found this. It looks like a pterodactyl and shit, though.
Just like there's a newspaper clipping of where they actually started digging this hole, and they stopped digging this hole because they started hearing screams. Have you heard of that?
No, but here right now, shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, this happened like in the 30s or some crazy shit, dude. Like they started digging a fucking hole, and they stopped digging this hole. They like did a reverse Tower of Babel type thing. They started digging a hole, and they got down so deep that they started hearing screams, and the people that were of religion got scared and stopped digging because they thought they were about to go to hell.
Oh, shit.
And this was recent shit. This was like reasonably recent. This isn't like Tower of Babel story timeline. This is like 1900 shit. The 20th century this happened in.
I tell you what, the 20th century, man, one fucked up century, man. I tell you.
Yeah, bro. It was the boom of technology, like the baby boomers. That was the boom of technology. Because think about it. In 1899, people were fighting over whether the world was round or flat. In 1819, we were worried about gas and water in a vehicle to drive around our rock. Yeah. What the fuck happened here?
That is a really good question, man. I tell you what, damn good question.
It's dude. That technological pillow that we're referring to again.
But this era is more of a high tech technological pillow.
Yeah, dude. Do you want to know how many people you would see in the middle of the street dead if an EMP hit the earth, or if a solar flare decided to reach out its little finger and go, whoop?
How many people were fucked?
But yeah, how many people would literally commit suicide after a solar flare because there's no more technology, electronic equipment?
They would just go absolutely nuts and jump off the fucking cliff, man.
That's why I said, how many dead bodies do you think will be in the middle of the street if we had an EMP or a solar flare? How many suicides would happen?
I think quite a bit, because I mean
that goes back to the reason for the Mandela effect happening. I'm about to debunk the Mandela effect. I figured out how to do it.
Okay.
You know how you say these old sayings, and certain people who are a certain age know what the hell you're talking about. Like, did you done fell off the turnip truck, Grandmaster Revan? You know what that means because you've heard that at least once in your life.
A lot over my lifetime. I mean,
but you get what I'm stating here. I dare you to tell that to a teenager or a millennial. You done fell off the turnip truck, boy. They're going to look at you like you're stupid because they've never heard it.
Now, my son would know about it, but he wouldn't forget about it. He was like, "What's that? What's that?"
That's kind of like my little theory that it's going to become Daisy and Tutu.
My son wouldn't forget about it. He was like, "Okay, what is it?" And
yeah,
he would want you to explain it to him so he could understand.
Like your cheese done slid off your cracker, boy.
Yeah.
That's what you done fell off the turnip truck means. Your cheese done slid off your cracker. But like my little theory of it's going to become Daisy and Tutu here in 50 years. It's going to become the Warlock of Id. It's because of that telephone game that we're playing. That's why a Mandela effect happens. But whenever you see a physical Mandela effect, like mine is, like Darth Vader physically saying he remembers recording Luke, "I am your father." Those are like undebunkable Mandela effects. That basically means that more than one reality has crossed over on our untouchable reality that everybody wants to think is an untouchable, unfathomable thing. No, it's fucking fathomable, people. And guess what? Whenever it's proved
Very,
fathomable,
very fathomable.
whenever
Very,
it's
I mean,
proved fathomable, guess what doesn't happen? Existence doesn't unravel. And you want to know why it does not unravel? Because the reason why we have been able to prove it fallible is because of this technological pillow.
and it's too soft for the mind, man. It has to be rough.
It's this progression of the equinox. Ever since World War I began, we began to fall asleep. We began A again. We're at the end of C, which basically means we've already passed the waking up phase. The ones of us that are awake, like the few of us that are resistance fighters that are sitting here,
I think
to
I
wake
think
up, you sheeple.
honestly, I think it went further back because if you look at World War II, Pearl Harbor, I think that's when we really woken up there because of World War II, and then
I'm saying whenever we fell asleep and we kind of passed up the cycle, like the amount of people that woke up during the wake up phase of the progression of the equinox are not still the fuck awake like they were. They were shook awake, said the alarm clock's going off, it's time to get out of bed. And you want to know what 93% of them did? They hit the fucking alarm off button instead of the snooze button.
Yeah, that's like Mother King saying, "I have a dream," and then hit the snooze button.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. People either hit the alarm off button or the snooze button and did not care because of this sudden burst of technological comfort.
That face that term that I did was courtesy of Donnie Baker.
Like there was a video I saw. Only a psychopath can create a system called credit.
And that credit was created by a goddamn banker. In financier and shit. So
yeah,
look,
dude.
kids, this is how you can fuck up your own credit.
Like people want to talk about the Revolutionary War. I'm not technically in Cajun country, but I'm in rebel country still. I'm below the Mason-Dixon line over here.
Yeah.
On the East Coast. Let's put it this way. People want to talk all this.
Did Katrina flooding happen where you live, man?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What?
Where was I? Y'all people want to talk about Revolutionary War. Y'all don't know what happened in 1812. In 1812, the British came back.
Was there flooding near your house back in 05? During the premiership?
Yeah, I did not leave because of Katrina, but I left shortly thereafter Katrina. But what I'm talking about here is people want to talk all bowdy about the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
Whenever they don't know what happened about 40 years later, 30 years later in 1812, whenever the British came back for revenge. You want to know who they came back to? They came back to the Cajuns. They didn't fuck with the colonists. The colonists did their job. You want to know something? They came to the Cajuns. And you want to know the big difference between a Cajun and a redneck? A Cajun would wrestle an alligator barehanded. A redneck would shoot a defenseless deer. So what do you think happened whenever the British walked upon Cajun country?
You do not fuck with the Cajun people, man. They will fuck you up and feed you to the gators.
Dude, we're the kind of people, like a couple people in this city look at me like I'm sadistic. Like, you want to know the difference between me and you? If somebody fucked me over, I'm going to tie you to a stump and feed you to the buzzards and the gators because I come from Cajun country. And they look at me like, and I'm like, and then I add on like, and I'm mentally incompetent, so I can get away with it.
there are 5 types of people you don't want to fuck with. One is the Cajun people, Cajun country, uh, moonshiners, people that live off the land,
Yeah, that's
very
Louisiana,
angry
Alabama,
Mexicans,
and Alaska.
and very angry hillbillies.
What was that fourth one you said?
Very angry Mexicans.
Oh yeah, so that's Southern California, Louisiana, Alabama, West Virginia, and Alaska. You don't fuck with
Nah.
is what
Well,
he just named
actually,
them.
California is was part of Mexico, so all over California, really.
Well,
Brother,
you get my legitimacy here.
we're all over, brother. We're all over California, man. I'm a fucking chalupa man.
Yeah, man. And yeah, on that tier one shit, you can't fuck. How did I word that shit? I want to like word that shit exactly
It was a
again.
tier one. It was a tier one or tier two level thing. I think. I mean, I could
Yeah,
be.
explaining that 80% of reality is empty space is as high as you can get on tier two. Whenever you get on tier one, this is what you get. The concept of a concept does not exist because we created a concept. And that doesn't even explain it correctly as we created these words. We're kind of fucked, and fucked is a concept. It's a race we can't win.
Yeah.
So that's tier one understanding. You can't think of nothing because somebody has already put in your mind what nothing is.
Shit, dude. I mean, the whole
You
thing is
can't
kind
clear
of.
your mind because somebody has already put the thought of what technically clear your mind means.
I came across an old a phrase the other day on Facebook. It said, "Open your mind before you open your mouth."
And that reminds me of one of my posts coming from one of the songs, and it's this screamo death metal emo guy talking to a bunch of Christians, and in the middle of his song, he sits there and curses out Christians at the same time as apologizing by basically saying, "I will take back all my words if you could prove one of them wrong."
Oh yeah, it's a good it's a really good uh I mean how it was scripted, how it was written makes a lot of sense, man. Makes a lot of sense. And you have very intelligent people in music,
Yeah,
whether in rap, rock, whatever. You know, I mean, they know what's going down,
like
and they
Hobson
are.
knows his shit. Hobson knows his shit with Nocturnal Rainbows. There was an old school guy from Wu Tang. His name was Killer Priest, and he made a song called Heavy Mental. And if you want a song to meditate to, that's the song to meditate to. If you like, if you can stand rap and nice sounds going on in the background, trippy sounds,
Yeah,
fine. Killer Priest, Heavy Mental, kill one word, kill
there's another guy you should check out is, and that is Professor Griff.
Yeah,
That dude knows his shit, man.
yeah.
That's why he was booted from Public Enemy, man. He was booted and shit. He knew this shit, and I mean he knows. I mean he knows about a lot of these artists in hip hop going to the dark side and shit, becoming very stupid.
Yeah, man.
And like, man, this guy know. I mean, I was a follower of Public Enemy, NWA, because NWA was also another group that knew their shit. They've seen it. They were around it. They were victims of it, and they use all that for their music. Hey, man, these guys knew their shit, and they were not afraid to say, hey, look, fuck the police, fuck the police.
Right.
And now, now if you play it loud, you're like pulled over for just playing that song.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy what they do to you.
And like Ice-T had a song called "Cop Killer," saying it's about killing cops. No, it's not. It's about of cops back in the '90s, very early '90s, killing people, beating people. Like what the fuck, And during one of the concerts, there was a bunch of cops there,
Yeah, man.
wanting to arrest them for just expressing their constitutional shit. Like what the fuck, man? Let these guys do their shit, and okay, brother. So fuck, like, holy crap.
Yeah. They've been letting it go by slow for some reason, Grandmaster. It's strange. Are they pulling our leg, and are they going to automatically take this video down because we don't have an actual... We have a viewer. We have a viewer. Oh, that's probably me. My bad. I'm like, hold on, we have a viewer. Like, wait a minute. No, that was me doing a time check. But yeah, for some strange reason, they're actually letting us have our time here. I wonder if they're going to take the video down, dude.
Well, whenever I did this, I hosted, they went after us big time.
I'm gonna have my backup ready just in case.
Okay.
Because you know me, like I've already told you, I have a pirate. I'm a pirate. I can get anything I want off the internet. So
it's
I want to make sure.
Life for you.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna make sure that I have something. I have a CYA in place because it's gonna take them more than 2 minutes to delete this video. And it'll take me about 180 seconds to get this video, my personal copy.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be on top of it like, come on it. Come on it. I'm going to be on top of it like, come on it.
well, when I took my video thing, like, I got that strike, which will expire on July 2nd.
Yeah, man. We haven't technically bullied anybody except for the 1%, the 13 families, 1%. The Bilderberg group, the Rothschilds.
Yeah. I think the reason why I got the strike was that I had this theory, and kind of a theory here, why I got the strike, is that maybe I exposed something here in the video, and it was taken down for that reason. Or all of a sudden, I totally connected the dots in that video.
Yeah, it's like if you would have had that video, a personal copy of that video, to go back and review that video to see what had happened, you would know legitimately what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the clan. I just messaged my clan, Grandmaster.
All right.
That's what that ding was. And I was like, working. So yeah, more or less, that's about how it rounds down, brother.
Huge, man. Really huge.
Like, we're all connected. We're this giant consciousness floating through everything. And that's between 5 and 2 tier, because we're technically 144 exponent 144. Math scientists understand that. That's that little bitty number next to the big number. And the way that you do that is you multiply it by itself, the number of times the little number is, so that your mind can comprehend what I just said. Okay? So that your mind comprehends what I just said. So if I said 144 exponent 144, That means that you do 144 times 144 times 144, and there's 144 144s.
Huge.
And that's how many dimensions there are. Now, and that's all consciousness. One consciousness does all that. Now, the different separations, not individual, the separations of consciousness are essence and spirits. There's multiples of these. Those are two different names for terms of understanding. And this is all 5 to 2 tier understanding, where 1 is the highest understanding and 10 is the lowest. Okay. Now, I'm going to hit, once again, tier 1, because we're putting aluminum foil on the turkey and we're about to throw it in the oven.
Okay.
And I'm going to hit tier 1 here. A concept of a concept cannot be understood because somebody had already created within you, instilled in you, what a concept is. So you only have the understanding of what a concept is by somebody else telephoning game it to you. So whenever somebody tells you to clear your mind, or i.e. think of nothing, you literally think of the concept of nothing. Oh, great. We just said concept again. So we're kind of fucked here. Oh, great. Fucked is a concept. Yeah, it's a race you can't win. It's like your thought can't even keep up fast enough with this race you can't win.
Oh, hell yeah. It's like you think you're going to drive this fastest car in the world and win the race, but actually you're not really winning at all.
You're not going anywhere. You're at the start-finish line because guess what? You think that's a start-finish line because you was told that was a start-finish line. What is a start-finish line? We think we know what a start-finish line is, but nobody legitimately knows because we're not.
Because they weren't told what it is. But
we're not the consciousness, Grandmaster. We are the separations of the essences / spirits. We're pieces of the entire whole. Yeah. So this has been zero.
We are sending to a essence transfer through the consciousness.
And we have the choice whether or not we want to give 90% of our life energy to this collective consciousness, or we can use 100% of our life energy. That's where that 10% of your brain comes in, people. Ding, 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 ding. Ring bell. Ring that bell. Bing, whistle blow. Yeah, blow that whistle, people. Blow that fucking whistle, people. Yes, I refereed myself there. Giving 90% of your power, giving 90% of your spirit energy to this collective consciousness makes you use only 10% of your brain. Go blow your whistle, people. And you have the choice. Like 90% of the entities in the universe. Like 90% of the entities in the universe, you have the choice to keep your 100% of your life force, your energy. And guess what, people? You have the ability to do what the consciousness does. Why? Because you are part of the consciousness.
And blow that whistle so loud so the walls of Jericho can collapse for the last time.
So I'm Zero. I am the leader of my clan, also referred to as the clan. I have 2 Facebook groups on Facebook. As I run, you follow if you can. That is the war room. If you're ready to be a revolutionary soldier warrior, let's go, people. I also have one called Awaken from Youth. It's basically the classroom. And this has been my co-host, Grandmaster Reverend.
I am Grandmaster Reverend. I am a founder of the Anonymous Liberty Media. Check me out on Facebook, Tumblr, YouTube, as well as Twitter. Also, check out the podcast of the Anonymous Liberty Media podcast on Spotify. And remember, knowledge is free. If you don't like it, you go fuck yourself.
And you're
Peace
damn
out.
right.
Reverend out.
Fripp's World.